The crystalline chambers of the Galactic Council's grand observatory sparkled with the light of 1,000 stars, their glow reflecting off the iridescent walls in an ever-shifting dance of cosmic radiance. Senior astronomer Vela Crix adjusted her sensory tendrils, focusing on an anomalous reading that had caught her attention during her routine survey of Sector 7249. Something was different about the electromagnetic signatures emanating from the unremarkable yellow star system. The patterns didn't match any known natural phenomenon, yet they were too precise to be random noise. Vela's outer membrane rippled with excitement as she cross-referenced the coordinates. "Earth," she whispered, her translator converting her thoughts into the standard galactic frequency. The name itself carried little weight in Council space, just another primitive world under observation, its inhabitants still struggling with basic space travel and environmental preservation. Or so everyone thought. Vela's assistant, Junior Observer Anxithal, drifted closer to her workstation. "Is everything all right, Senior? Your bioluminescence patterns indicate elevated excitement." "Look at these readings," Vela gestured with her primary appendage, manipulating the holographic display to show the last 6 hours of data. "The signal strength is increasing exponentially, but following a mathematical sequence I've never seen before." The younger alien's sensory clusters expanded in surprise. "That's impossible. According to the latest cultural survey, the humans are still using primitive radio telescopes and chemical propulsion. They shouldn't be capable of generating quantum-encoded transmissions." "Precisely." Vela's excitement grew as she initiated a deep scan of the system. And yet, these signals bear all the hallmarks of advanced quantum communication. The complexity suggests. She stopped mid-sentence as new data flooded her displays. Similar signals were now being detected from multiple points within Earth's solar system, the fourth planet, several asteroids, and even their small lunar satellite. Each pulse followed the same mysterious pattern, but slightly out of phase with the others. "Alert the Council," Vela commanded, her professional detachment giving way to urgent curiosity. "And contact every observatory in range. We need confirmation that we're not experiencing equipment malfunction." Within hours, reports began flowing in from across the galaxy. Every single observation post within range of Earth was detecting the same phenomenon. The primitive world that had been relegated to footnote status in galactic affairs was suddenly the focus of intense scientific scrutiny. High Counselor Zinthar himself arrived at the Grand Observatory the following day, his crystalline form shadowing Vela's workstation as she presented her findings. "You're certain these signals began simultaneously across their entire system?" "Yes, High Counselor. And there's more." Vela projected a new set of readings. "We've detected energy signatures consistent with quantum entanglement technology emanating from locations where our previous scans showed nothing but empty space. It's as if they've been hiding their true capabilities," Zenthar finished, his voice carrying a mix of concern and admiration. "The question is, for how long? And more importantly, why?" The answer came 3 days later, when the signal suddenly shifted pattern. Observatories across 5 sectors reported the change simultaneously. Where before the pulses had followed a mathematical sequence, they now carried clear data packets, massive amounts of information encoded in ways that shouldn't have been possible for human technology. As the first decoded fragments began appearing on Vela's screens, she felt her inner core temperature drop. The messages were in perfect galactic standard, a language humanity shouldn't have even known existed. And they all began the same way. "To the species of the Galactic Council, this is humanity's final transmission from this dimension. We apologize for the deception, but it was necessary. What follows is everything you need to know about the threat that approaches. Your survival depends on understanding why we chose to leave, and what we left behind to protect you." Vela's tendrils trembled as she initiated galaxy-wide emergency protocols. The humans hadn't just been hiding their technology. They'd been preparing for something big enough to make an entire species disappear overnight. And they wanted the galaxy to know why. The Council's most advanced stealth ship, The stellar whisper emerged from quantum space at the edge of Earth's atmosphere. Team leader Zigzalithix stood at the observation deck, all four eyes fixed on the gleaming metropolises below. Everything about this mission defied standard protocols, from the emergency authorization to the unprecedented number of senior researchers aboard. "Initial atmospheric analysis complete," announced Dr. Miraven, the team's xenobiologist. Despite her species' natural telepathy, she used vocal communication out of respect for her non-telepathic colleagues. "Air quality is perfect, almost artificially so." Zigzalithix's scales shifted color in surprise. "Perfect. No pollutants, optimal oxygen-nitrogen ratio, and trace elements balanced precisely for maximum biological benefit." Mira's antenna twitched. It's as if someone terraformed Earth's atmosphere overnight. The ship descended through layers of clouds that parted with unusual precision, giving them a clear path to their first target, a sprawling coastal city that human broadcasts had once called New York. As they approached, the team fell silent in collective awe. The city was alive with activity, but not a single human was visible. Automated maintenance drones swept the streets with quiet efficiency. Gardens flourished on every rooftop, tended by mechanical arms that moved with surprising grace. Transport vehicles followed perfect traffic patterns, carrying supplies between buildings. Even the city's famous park remained immaculately maintained, its paths cleaned by small robots that resembled local wildlife. "This isn't abandonment," whispered Chief Engineer Raxton, their resident technology expert. "This is orchestrated preservation." The stellar whisper landed in an empty plaza that seemed designed specifically for their ship's dimensions. As the team prepared to disembark, their sensors detected no radiation, no biological hazards, and no defensive systems, yet everyone felt watched. "Look at this," called Dr. Venn from her station. "The city's power grid is operating at 100% efficiency. No fluctuations, no waste energy. It's like they upgraded everything before they left." Zigzalithix finished. "Deploy the ground team. Full environmental suits, despite the readings. Let's not take chances." The city welcomed them with open arms, literally. Doors slid open as they approached. Elevators arrived without being called. Every system they encountered seemed to anticipate their needs, while staying just outside their ability to analyze its technology. In Central Park, they found dogs being walked by hovering platforms, cats lounging in climate-controlled spaces, and birds nesting in perfectly maintained artificial trees. Every animal appeared healthy and well cared for, integrated into the city's automated systems with remarkable sophistication. "They didn't just leave," Raxton observed, scanning a nearby maintenance drone. "They ensured everything would continue without them. But why maintain an entire civilization if you're abandoning it?" Their answer came in an unexpected form. As the team approached a towering glass structure in the heart of Manhattan, every screen and holographic projector in view activated simultaneously. The message that appeared was in perfect galactic standard. "Welcome, researchers of the Stellar Whisper. Your arrival was predicted. This facility contains the first of many data cages we've left behind. To access it, you must solve a puzzle, not as a test, but as proof that humanity's greatest achievements came from our ability to think differently." The building's entrance displayed a seemingly simple geometric pattern, but one that changed subtly each time they scanned it. Traditional council mathematical approaches failed to decode it. "It's not about the math," Zigzalithix realized, studying the shifting shapes. "Look at how it mirrors the city grid, but with impossible angles. They're asking us to think beyond our established principles." As if responding to his insight, the pattern suddenly resolved itself, and the doors slid open with a soft hum. Inside, they found not the primitive computers they expected, but a vast chamber of crystalline matrices humming with quantum energy. On the central platform, another message awaited. "You've taken the first step toward understanding. Now let us show you what humanity really achieved while the galaxy wasn't watching. But remember, What you learn here is only a fraction of what we've prepared for you all." The team exchanged glances, their various appendages and sensory organs conveying a mix of excitement and apprehension. They had come seeking answers about humanity's disappearance, but were beginning to suspect they'd stumbled onto something far bigger, a mystery that spanned not just Earth, but the entire galaxy. The Council's emergency session erupted into chaos as High Counselor Zinthar displayed the latest findings. The massive holographic projection showed a gas giant 300 light-years from Earth, its swirling storms concealing something impossible: a city floating in its upper atmosphere. This facility, Zinthar's crystalline form pulsed with intensity, was discovered 6 hours ago by the research vessel Aurora's Dream. Like Earth, it is completely automated but fully functional. And like Earth, it contains technology that exceeds our current understanding. Senior astronomer Vela Crix, recently promoted to head the investigation, manipulated the display to show more details. The station uses the gas giant's storms to generate power. Its engineering suggests humans had mastered atmospheric mining centuries ago, while still burning fossil fuels on their homeworld. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. A species claiming to struggle with basic spaceflight had built a city that danced through storms powerful enough to shred most council ships. "There's more," Vela continued, her tendrils rippling with nervous energy. "In the past 6 hours, we've detected 17 similar installations, all activated simultaneously, dropping their stealth fields in perfect synchronization." The display shifted again, showing a cascade of new locations appearing across Council space. Each point of light represented another hidden human outpost, each one revealing itself with precise timing. The map of known space transformed before their eyes. On the Stellar Whisper, now investigating the gas giant facility, Zexolithix and his team made another startling discovery. "These aren't just research stations," he reported to the Council. "They're fully functional colonies, designed to support thousands of inhabitants each. The hydroponics bays alone could feed millions." Dr. Miraven's voice joined the transmission. "The environmental systems are remarkable. Each facility is perfectly tailored to human biological needs, yet they also contain zones adapted for various alien physiologies. It's as if they expected visitors, or prepared for cohabitation." In the Council chamber, debate raged about the implications. Some members saw the hidden colonies as a threat, proof of human deception and potential military preparation. Others recognized something more profound: an engineering achievement that suggested humanity's true nature had been hidden in plain sight. "Consider the logistics." Chief Engineer Raxton's analysis scrolled across the Council's displays. To build one such facility in secret would be remarkable. To build hundreds, possibly thousands, while maintaining the illusion of technological inferiority. That suggests coordination and planning on a scale we've never encountered. The discoveries kept coming. A research station buried in a rogue planet's ice. Orbital habitats disguised as asteroid clusters. Massive ships hidden in stellar coronas, gathering energy directly from stars. Each facility more impressive than the last, each one revealing itself according to some grand design. Then came the message that changed everything. It appeared simultaneously across every discovered human installation, its quantum-encrypted signal bypassing all known security protocols. The holographic text shimmered in Galactic Standard. Phase 1 of Revelation complete. To the species of the galaxy, we know this disclosure causes concern. Our deception was necessary, not to hide weapons or armies, but to preserve something far more precious. Each facility you've discovered contains a piece of the puzzle. Together, they form a network we spent generations preparing for what comes next. Your scientists have no doubt noticed that these installations form a pattern. This is intentional. The network's true purpose will become clear when the final coordinates are revealed. For now, know this: humanity didn't abandon these places. We transformed them into waypoints for a journey that all species must eventually take. The next phase begins in 6 hours. We recommend all council ships maintain safe distance from temporal convergence points. The network is about to synchronize. As the message faded, Vela's instruments detected new energy signatures emerging from each human facility. The supposedly empty colonies were powering up, their hidden systems awakening in ways that defied conventional physics. The map of known space wasn't just changing, it was about to be rewritten. And humanity's hidden legacy was only beginning to reveal itself. Deep beneath the red sands of Mars, Dr. Miraven stood before a door that shouldn't exist. The Martian facility had revealed itself just as the others had, but this one was different. While other installations hummed with power and automation, this place lay silent, waiting. "The composition is impossible," Chief Engineer Raxton muttered, his analytical appendages hovering over the seamless surface. It's simultaneously crystalline and fluid, like frozen time given physical form. The door bore a single marking, a human handprint, sized for their 5-fingered appendages. Beside it, words in Galactic standard shimmered. "To open, simply understand why we chose this place." Team leader Zexolithix studied the environment, his 4 eyes taking in every detail. Mars was their first step beyond Earth. Their first dream of becoming more than they were. The answer isn't in the technology, it's in the meaning. As he placed his modified appendage over the handprint, a soft light pulsed through the strange material. The door dissolved, revealing a vast chamber that stretched beyond their sensors' range. "By the first stars," Raxton whispered. The chamber contained no computers, no databanks as they knew them. Instead, countless crystalline structures floated in perfect formation, each one pulsing with internal light. They formed patterns that shifted and flowed, creating 3-dimensional images that told stories of human achievement. It's not just an archive, Mira realized, her telepathic senses overwhelmed by the complexity. It's their true history. The first crystal showed them Earth's past, not the carefully curated version humans had presented to their observers, but reality. While primitive rockets launched for public view, quantum laboratories hidden in ocean trenches cracked the codes of spacetime. As nations squabbled over fossil fuels, secret facilities across the globe perfected zero-point energy. "Look at these dates," Zexolithix pointed to a floating timestamp. "They achieved quantum entanglement communication 3 centuries before we estimated. They had functional dimensional physics while still pretending to debate the existence of dark matter." The next series of crystals revealed the scope of human deception. Every major scientific breakthrough they'd shared with observers had been carefully calculated to appear natural, hiding their true capabilities. Their public space program struggled with chemical rockets, while cloaked ships explored dimensional shortcuts between stars. Mira's antenna trembled as she accessed another crystal cluster. "This is remarkable. They didn't develop their technologies in sequence like most species. They pursued everything simultaneously, cross-pollinating breakthroughs between fields. Physics, biology, consciousness studies, all advancing together, each discovery informing the others." "But why hide it all?" Raxton asked, his usual scientific detachment cracking. "Why maintain such an elaborate illusion?" The answer came from the chamber itself. The crystals rearranged, forming a new pattern that filled the space with images of something vast approaching the galaxy. The humans had detected it centuries ago, a threat that existed partly outside normal spacetime, immune to conventional defenses. They knew they couldn't fight it directly, Zexolithix said softly, watching the simulation play out. So they chose a different path. Every hidden facility, every secret breakthrough, every carefully maintained deception. It was all preparation for something bigger. A final crystal descended, larger than the others. Within it, equations and concepts swirled that made their most advanced scientists' work seem primitive. Humanity hadn't just mastered physics, they'd rewritten it, finding loopholes in reality itself. New text appeared around them. "We share this knowledge now because you're ready to understand. What you've seen here is the foundation. The next phase will reveal why we had to leave, and what we left behind to ensure your survival. But remember, the greatest technology is worthless without the wisdom to guide it. That's why we waited, watched, and planned. Not because we feared you weren't advanced enough, but because we needed to know you were ready for the responsibility this knowledge brings. In the council chamber, as reports from the Mars facility poured in, High Counselor Zenthar made an unprecedented decision. "Send word to every species in known space," he commanded. "The humans didn't abandon us. They were preparing us. And now we need to understand why." The holographic diary flickered to life in the observation chamber of the Stellar Whisper. A young human girl, no more than 12 Earth years old, spoke with surprising clarity. "Today I learned about our family's real work. Mom says the rockets everyone sees are just for show. Our real ships are invisible, flying between the stars while other kids think we're still trying to reach Mars." Dr. Miravan's antenna quivered as she accessed another recording. This time, an elderly human appeared, his white hair neatly combed. 50 years of maintaining the facade. By day, I argued about fossil fuel alternatives in public forums. By night, I helped calibrate zero-point reactors hidden beneath the Pacific. Sometimes I wonder if our descendants will understand why we chose this path. The research team had discovered thousands of such personal logs hidden throughout the human colonies. Each one revealed another thread in the tapestry of humanity's greatest deception. "The psychological discipline is extraordinary," Mira observed, her telepathic senses still processing the emotional depth of the recordings. Generations of humans lived double lives, never revealing their true capabilities. Children learned advanced quantum mechanics while pretending to struggle with basic algebra in public schools. Zektalithics studied a hologram showing a family dinner. The scene appeared ordinary until subtle details emerged. The decorative wall patterns were actually quantum computational arrays, and the children's toys were sophisticated molecular engineering tools disguised as simple puzzles. "Every aspect of their civilization was layered with meaning," he said, manipulating the display to show more scenes. "Their entertainment, their art, their games, all of it contained hidden knowledge, preparing their people for something bigger." A new recording began playing, showing a meeting of human leaders from various nations. The public broadcasts of this event had shown them arguing about climate treaties. The reality was dramatically different. "The dimensional breach will reach our galaxy in approximately 3 centuries, a woman in a simple business suit announced. "Our current technology cannot stop it. Therefore, we must pursue a different strategy. Our children, and our children's children, must maintain the illusion of normal development while we prepare the galaxy for what's coming." Chief Engineer Raxton's appendages moved rapidly over the control panel, correlating data. These meetings happened regularly, coordinating their global deception. While their public governments played out political dramas, this shadow council guided humanity's true development. Another log showed a classroom where teenagers worked on seemingly primitive computers, but hidden screens visible only in certain light frequencies revealed they were actually programming quantum defense systems. "My daughter asked me today why we can't tell our friends about our real work," a mother's voice narrated. "I explained that sometimes protecting others means letting them grow at their own pace. We're not just building technology. We're building trust, proving ourselves worthy of the power we've discovered." The most revealing logs came from the last days before humanity's disappearance. Families calmly packed their belongings, knowing they would leave behind a legacy that would only be understood years later. Children said goodbye to pets, trusting the automated systems to care for them. Scientists put final touches on systems designed to protect species they'd never met. "We chronicle these moments not for ourselves," a final recording stated, showing a gathering of humans in an advanced facility hidden beneath Antarctica, "but for those who will find them." To the galaxy. "We didn't hide our achievements out of fear or distrust. We hid them because we needed to understand ourselves before we could safely guide others." Every deception, every hidden advance, every careful step was taken with one goal: preparing you for the challenge we discovered. The message continued, but now the speaker smiled. Our greatest achievement wasn't the technology we created, but the patience we learned. We could have dominated, could have ruled, could have forced our knowledge upon unprepared civilizations. Instead, we chose to wait, to watch, to prepare quietly. And now, as we take our next step in evolution, we leave behind not just our tools, but our understanding of how to use them wisely. In the council chamber, as the logs were translated and shared, the true scope of humanity's patience began to sink in. They hadn't just planned for years or decades, they had orchestrated a centuries-long performance, all while preparing for a threat only they had foreseen. The transformation began with a single pulse from Earth. Within seconds, every human installation across the galaxy responded, their dormant systems awakening in perfect synchronization. In the Stellar Whispers observation deck, Zixolithics watched as waves of energy ripple through space in patterns that defied known physics. Energy signatures are off the charts, Chief Engineer Raxton reported, his appendages dancing across multiple control panels. The human facilities aren't just communicating, they're changing. Across thousands of locations, automated systems that had appeared simple and utilitarian began to shift. Maintenance drones transformed into sophisticated sentinel units. Hidden panels opened in buildings, revealing technology that had been disguised as architectural features. Even the garden-tending robots on Earth revealed themselves as components of a vast defensive network. Breaking news from the Centauri outpost. Dr. Mira Ven announced, her antenna vibrating with excitement. They've decoded the first part of the transmission. It's blueprints. The holographic displays came alive with streaming data. Complex schematics filled the air around them, showing defense systems unlike anything the Council had ever conceived. But these weren't just weapon designs. They were complete strategic systems, combining technology, biology, and dimensional physics in ways that revolutionized their understanding of reality itself. Look at this. Raxton highlighted a section of the data. They're not just giving us weapons. These are manufacturing protocols, maintenance procedures, even tactical doctrines, everything we need to understand and operate their technology. In the Council chamber, High Counselor Zenfar received reports from across known space. Every species, every civilization was receiving the same data, carefully formatted for their specific technological understanding. The humans had prepared unique instruction sets for each race, ensuring all could contribute to what was coming. Second phase of transmission beginning, announced a synthetic voice that echoed through every human facility simultaneously. Holographic projectors activated, showing a three-dimensional map of the galaxy. Red lines appeared, marking distortions in spacetime that were slowly approaching from multiple vectors. These are dimensional fractures, the voice continued, points where our reality intersects with others. What comes through these breaches cannot be stopped by conventional means. We discovered them 3 centuries ago, and everything since has been preparation for their arrival. The map zoomed in, showing how the human installations formed a complex geometric pattern across the galaxy. Each facility represented a node in a vast defense grid, designed to channel and redirect dimensional energy. You are receiving this warning now because the first breach will occur within 5 years. The message continued. We could not fight this threat directly. Our weapons, no matter how advanced, would have been useless against beings that exist partially outside our dimension. Instead, we created something different, a system that can reshape local space-time itself, denying them entry to our reality. New data streams appeared, showing how the defense network would function. Rather than destroying the dimensional invaders, it would prevent them from fully manifesting in normal spacetime, rendering them harmless. But the system requires coordination, understanding, and unity, the transmission explained. Every species must contribute, each adding their unique perspective to its operation. We built the foundation, but you must work together to maintain and evolve it. In a final display of their foresight, the humans had included detailed predictions of how various species would initially react to this revelation, along with carefully crafted responses to address each concern. "We know this seems overwhelming," the message concluded. "You wonder why we didn't share this sooner, why we maintained our deception until now. The answer is simple. The defense network is not just technology. It is a test of cooperation, of trust, of the ability to work together despite differences. We needed to know you were ready not just to use these tools, but to use them wisely." As the transmission ended, the transformed human facilities pulsed with new energy, ready to begin training their inheritors in the art of defending reality itself. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was exactly what humanity had planned. The first dimensional anomaly appeared exactly where humanity said it would, a shimmering distortion in space near the Carina Nebula. The Council's sensors detected it just as the human defense network surged to life, each installation glowing with previously hidden power. "Multiple quantum signatures detected," Raxton announced from his station aboard the Stellar Whisper. "The network is generating some kind of coherent field across all nodes simultaneously." Zexolithics watched in amazement as lines of energy connected the human facilities, forming geometric patterns that stretched across light years. The seemingly random placement of their installations now revealed its true purpose. Each one occupied a precise position needed to create this galactic shield. "Energy patterns are stabilizing," Dr. Miraven reported, her telepathic senses overwhelmed by the scale of what they were witnessing. "The field it's not just blocking the anomaly, it's actively reshaping local space-time around it." The Council's emergency session had become permanent, with representatives from every major species working together to understand and implement humanity's defensive protocols. High Counselor Zinthar's crystalline form pulsed with anxiety as new reports flooded in. The Arcturus sector reports successful integration with their local node, and Aid announced, "The Proxima colonies have achieved synchronization. The Orion Defense Fleet has successfully linked their ships to the network." Across the galaxy, species that had once competed now found themselves working together, each contributing their unique insights to the operation of humanity's legacy. The Mindweavers of Rigel used their collective consciousness to help process the massive data streams. The Silicon Collective of Ta City provided their quantum computing expertise. Even the notoriously isolationist cloud dwellers of the Pleiades joined the effort. Second anomaly detected. Raxton's voice carried a note of urgency. "Coordinates match human predictions exactly. Time to breach. 4 minutes." The defense network responded instantly. Energy flows adjusted, the geometric patterns shifted, and new connections formed. As the second-dimensional tear began to open, it encountered a barrier that wasn't simply physical. It was a conscious reshaping of reality itself. "Remarkable," Mira breathed, studying the readings. "The human technology isn't fighting the incursion directly. It's more like it's teaching our universe to reject the invasion naturally." In the space around the anomalies, reality itself seemed to ripple. The tiers in space-time that should have allowed entry from another dimension instead found themselves closing, the very fabric of space becoming inhospitable to extra-dimensional intrusion. A new message appeared across all human interfaces. Phase 3 initiated. The network is now self-learning. Each attempted breach will strengthen its response. Every species must continue working together. Your combined knowledge and perspectives are crucial to its evolution. The council chamber erupted in discussion as the implications became clear. Humanity hadn't just built a static defense system. They'd created an adaptive network that would grow stronger with each challenge, powered by the diverse perspectives and knowledge of all galactic species. "Third anomaly detected," Raxton reported. "But something's different. The network. It's responding before the breach even begins to form." Zexolithics realized what they were seeing. It's not just defending. It's learning to predict. Every species adding their knowledge, every different perspective on reality itself. We're teaching it to think in ways even humanity couldn't have programmed. The geometric patterns spanning the galaxy pulsed with new energy as the network incorporated each insight, each unique way of perceiving reality. The human installations hummed with power, their systems adapting and evolving in real time. "Look at these efficiency readings," Mira pointed to her displays. "The more we work together, the stronger the field becomes. It's as if humanity designed it specifically to require cooperation. They didn't just give us a defense system, they gave us a reason to unite." In the council chamber, as species that had once been rivals now worked side by side, High Counselor Zinthar finally understood the full scope of humanity's gift. They hadn't just prepared the galaxy for an invasion. They had prepared the galaxy's species for each other. 1 year after the first dimensional breach, the Galactic Council Chamber looked nothing like its former self. Where once a single species had dominated proceedings, now representatives from every known civilization worked in harmony. Holographic displays showed the status of humanity's defense network, its crystalline patterns now enriched by the contributions of countless alien minds. The latest attempt at dimensional intrusion was prevented before it even began to manifest. Senior Coordinator Vela Crix reported, her tendrils moving gracefully through the data streams. The network isn't just defending anymore. It's actively stabilizing local spacetime across the entire galaxy. High Counselor Zinthar's crystalline form glowed with quiet pride as he surveyed the chamber. The Mindweavers had integrated their consciousness-based computing. The Silicon Collective had enhanced the quantum processing cores. Even the enigmatic Cloud Dwellers had contributed their unique understanding of spatial dynamics. "We've detected something new," Dr. Miraven announced from her station aboard the Stellar Whisper, now permanently assigned to studying the human legacy. "The network is generating patterns we haven't seen before." The chamber's central display shifted, showing new energy formations emerging between the human installations. The geometric patterns that had protected the galaxy were evolving, taking on configurations that defied conventional physics. "It's a message," Zixolithix realized, his 4 eyes widening. "The network isn't just protecting us. It's trying to show us something." The patterns coalesced into a new form of communication, one that combined elements from every species' language into something entirely new. As the translation matrices processed the signal, a familiar voice echoed through the chamber. The same synthetic voice that had first revealed humanity's warning. "To the united species of the galaxy, you have exceeded our highest expectations. The defense network was never meant to be just a shield. It was a key to understanding what we discovered in our centuries of secret development." The display shifted again, showing images that made even the most seasoned scientists pause in wonder. Humanity hadn't just found a way to block dimensional intrusion. They had discovered how to safely traverse the boundaries between realities. "We didn't leave." The message continued. "We ascended. The threat we discovered showed us that existence was far more complex than any single species could comprehend. But we couldn't take that step alone. We needed to ensure that those we left behind would be ready to follow." New data streamed through the network, showing how each species' unique perspective had added another piece to a puzzle humanity had begun centuries ago. The defense network wasn't just a barrier, it was a prototype for something far greater. "The dimensional beings you've been repelling aren't invaders," the message revealed. "They're refugees, fleeing the collapse of their own reality. We've been working with them from our new plane of existence, preparing a way for all species to coexist. The defense network isn't meant to keep them out forever. It's teaching the fundamental laws of our universe how to accommodate new forms of life." The chamber erupted in discussion as the implications became clear. Humanity's great deception, their centuries of hidden preparation, their carefully orchestrated departure. It had all been leading to this moment. "You're ready now," the message concluded. "The network has evolved beyond our original design, improved by the wisdom of every species. You've learned to work together, to see beyond your differences, to understand that diversity isn't just beneficial, it's essential for survival." A new set of coordinates appeared in the display, showing a location where the network's energy patterns converged in impossible ways. "When you're ready to take the next step, to join us in understanding the true nature of reality, You'll find us there, but take your time. The greatest journeys aren't about the destination. They're about becoming ready for what awaits at the end. As the message faded, the defense network pulsed with renewed energy, its patterns more beautiful and complex than ever. In the council chamber, representatives of a truly united galaxy looked at each other with new understanding. Humanity hadn't just saved them from a threat. They had shown them how to save themselves, and in doing so, had opened the door to something far greater than mere survival. The chaos their final warning had caused had transformed into the greatest peace the galaxy had ever known.